Welcome back to Steel Horse. We finally made our way inside the Indiana Live Casino. And from this point of view, you can see there is tons to do here.
If gambling's your game and you win some big bucks, you might want to put some of it into a charity just like this one. What gave you the idea to put this ride together?
Well, I'm an avid supporter of breast cancer, and the Moose Lodge, we wanted to show the community that we're more than just a place to come and drink and gamble. We give back to the community. We do a lot of good here in Bloomington, and I wanted to do something big. I wanted to do something big to show our support to our community, and we picked the Alcott Center because they keep the funds all locally.
Now tell me, what does GIRL stand for?
GIRL stands for Giving Individuals with Cancer Resources Out of Love. And that's what the Alcott Center does, is they support, offer support, all different types of support for men and women who have both been diagnosed with cancer.
Now how will today's funds be used?
100% will go to the Girlfriend Fund, which is a specific fund that they use to help cancer patients with things like electricity bills and gas to get to treatments and things like that. That's specifically what that's used for.
How'd you pick this ride today?
I'm a member of the Moose, and it's for a good cause, and I figured I'd make the ride.
Now I notice you're running around collecting money. What's that money for?
It's for a Harley-Davidson leather jacket.
Wow.
You can buy a ticket and win it.
Well, you keep selling them, and some lucky person will get a new jacket. Is it a man's jacket or a women's jacket?
A man's.
You know, the unsung heroes of these hog roasts stay up all night cooking this hog. And see what happens? How'd you pick this ride today?
My wife works for one of the cancer doctors here in town, so it's a good cause to come out and ride for.
You're starting out the day pretty good. What car did you draw?
Drawed an ace.
You can't beat that. Now, you know where all they're taking you today on this ride?
I have no idea.
What, are you going to follow somebody?
I guess so. I'm following somebody.
And I think it's a very good cause, and hope to see a lot of bikes out here today, and for the ride.
Now I noticed you got a big old alley on your knee.
I do.
I hope that isn't from a motorcycle.
No, it is not.
Well, I noticed you had your legs stretched out. So is it going to bother you a lot today?
Oh well, if it does, that's all right. It's good for a good cause.
So your job is to hold her leg up,
among others.
Stick with us. We'll have more from the girls' ride a little later in the show. You know how I always like to ride to Southern Indiana, and when it's for a good cause, all the better. Now, here's this week's Horse's Mouth question. Kyle DeVote asks, as a lawyer, what are some safety strategies that you would give to a motorcycle rider?
There are three things I would suggest as a motorcycle rider. Number one, remember that motorists oftentimes have trouble seeing motorcycles and reacting in time. Use reflective strips and decals on your clothing and on your motorcycle. Be aware of the blind spots cars and trucks have. If a motorist doesn't see you, don't be afraid to use your horn. Number two, dress for safety. Remember, the only thing between you and the road is your protective gear. Number three, apply effective mental strategies. Give yourself space and time to respond to other motorist concerns. Watch for turning vehicles. Signal your next move in advance. Pretend you're invisible and ride extra defensively. Know your bike and how to use it. Most importantly, give yourself space. People driving cars oftentimes cannot see motorcycles. And remember, you heard it here first, straight from the horse's mouth.
Thanks, Steve, and thanks, Mark.
I hear the Maker's Mark Bourbon House and Lounge has great steaks. Something else great? This, the first installment of the Southside Harley-Davidson calendar. We got a lot of great riding time and events left in this season. Now, let's take a look at a pretty famous bike. You all remember Easy Rider. In 1969, a little movie called Easy Rider premiered, and the Captain America bike, ridden by Peter Pana, became famous. This bike was actually a 1993 replica based on the original version built in 1962 at Harley-Davidson of Florida. It has a 1200cc air-cooled V-twin Harley-Davidson engine, 61 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, with a top speed of 100 miles per hour. The custom paint, wheels, brake forks, wide glide front end, ape hangers, handlebars, extended pipes, and chrome throughout make this one of a kind. You can view this ride close up courtesy of Sean Pillow at the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame Museum as part of the MotorStars Celebrities and Motorcycles exhibit in Bickerton, Ohio through December 2009. Indiana Live is a great destination, but remember, ride responsibly.
You know, Steve, if I was gonna get stuck anywhere, I think it'd be here in the Mosaic Lounge. It looks pretty comfortable. It's not so comfortable when you're stuck on the road, though. So here's Jim with some advice.
Breakdowns, they do happen. Here's the best way to deal with a breakdown on the road. First, get the motorcycle well off the roadway. Turn the flashers on if you have them or if they work. Next, use your owner's manuals to see if you can identify the problem. No owner's manual? Well, old school it then. If the problem isn't obvious like a flat tire, then check your gas, your spark plugs, your wires, your battery connections. Generally, this is one of the leading causes of breakdowns. One thing you can do also is if you break down, in California they started tying a rag on the left side of the handlebar. This is what you can do to let motorcycle snow coming down the road that you're having a mechanical problem. That's probably a good idea. If that doesn't work, you need to call a tow truck. Two things when calling a tow truck. First, know your location. And I got to tell you, most of my breakdowns have been in the middle of nowhere, so know your county roads, know your landmarks like your barns or your billboards so you can get that information. On the tow truck operator, make sure that they're qualified to tow a motorcycle. Ask it on the telephone because you want to make sure you get the right operator to tow the bike. Last but not least, if that doesn't work, then lock the motorcycle up and leave it. If it's at night, leave your tail light on. I know it's hard to leave a motorcycle by the side of the road, but remember, the bike has insurance, you don't. You're more important than the bike. Remember, on a breakdown, safety first. Till next week, I'll see you on the road.
When Steel Horse returns, we head outside to find out one more attraction here at Indiana Live.
And we'll have this week's Bike of the Week and find out all the details about Motorcycle Day at the Indiana State Fair.
You want to dance?